Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Rayman. In the last episode, we actually completed the final level that we've unlocked so far, which was Mr. Scops' Stalactites. This episode, we're going to be going through the Dream Forest, Bandland, and the other world of the list, which is the Blue Mountains. Just forgot, I could only think of it as being called Twilight Gulch, which is not, in search of Electoons. So this can be a bit more heavily edited, especially depending on what we've already got. So we're going to start with Pink Plant Woods. So we need to start in the second scene, which is here. Now at the beginning we go back up here, and okay, that's not what we want to do. I want to grab that vine. There we go. So there's a lot of this kind of stuff. So we go up here, there's a magician here who we're going to completely ignore, and we're going to hover over here, and there's a ringy bird, which brings us up here. Balls. Ah, bugger. Let's try that again. We hover to this there we go. So you may have heard I was talking over it probably, but we got a dark thing there, a blalang, a gendor, whatever you call them, which unlocks this cage. Now we basically need to get back on top of where we just were. And now if we proceed right from here, we should basically, I don't know how I actually managed to miss this one, but we'll see. If we continue just following along to the right here, I think I ended up going some kind of lower path last time that dodged this. There we go. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know if this is a normal path or not, but anyway. Now we want to come down here, and the third one is right over here. We didn't have a fist last time we did this as well. Although we did have fisting, but fisting is all we had. So I want to knock this one off, and the third one of this scene is over there. So, all but one now. Now we just need to go to the next scene. So here, we start with that plum there, which I'm going to ignore. This second one here, we want to knock this, but we want to knock it in a specific way that isn't that way. Basically, we want to get it past the water there, so we don't want it landing in there. And no. There we go. There we. Every time it looks like it's gonna be there. There we go. So with luck, yes, it lands on this Waluigi's head. Now we can ride on it. You'll see up above us coming in to the right, there is a super fist. Jump up and grab it. And you will have heard a blanang sound, which was this thing appearing, which is our final chest, cage, whatever. Unfortunately, at this point, I'm pretty sure there's no way to leave a level having saved. So I just need to finish off the level. So you'll now notice the logo is replaced of the level is replaced with the pink face, which means we've got all the Electoons. Anguish Lagoon is now a slightly strange one for a reason I'll say. Most of the bits we're missing are actually, we're missing 4 Electoons that are all in the first scene. So up here, we can go over here for now, and then over, there we go, oh, balls, missed it. So if we now get up here and dislodge that, let's try that again, up there and dislodge that plum, this will allow us to get onto a ringy bird that we couldn't before. Bam, there you go. Now, we need to... There we go, so you notice I dropped down again there. I fucked it up the first time, and... Oh. So let's try that again. Drop down, and that's the cage appearing, and there we go. Third one there. Right, now we need to get up to the second swinging plum. And now on here, you'll notice there's a ting down there to the right. And, as I've always said, where there's a ting, there's a way. Follow the trail of tings down, and you'll get to a secret broomy, who, amongst other things, guards the cage. Now, unfortunately, in order to get back, we have to do some... Well, we have to kill this bastard first, and that's not going to work. Cool, that's one way to get back. I was going to say use the plum, but what I did works, you know. Right, this time, we need to get up to where we just were, beyond the second plum. And up here, we've got these platforms, and then you'll see, up there, there is a pair of tings, and there is a hidden dark ting. If we grab that, then you'll notice this appears. Various things come with it, amongst which are the cage. So we've got almost all of these except for one. Now let's get to the end of the scene where we'll notice something quite strange happen. We go straight to the flying on mosquito scenes. Other than this one, every single scene in the game that involves a boss in some way, whether you're fighting them or whether they chase you in that scene, those scenes are no longer accessible once you've beaten the level and thus the boss. Correspondingly, that means that also you can judge that those sections have no, what they called in them, they have no Electoons in them. Here, bugger, no, did I just get that on first try? Excellent. So, to explain what I actually did there, because it may not be obvious, if you go in the middle of that section there, you get a dark ting, and then the upper section has the chest, the cage in it. And unfortunately, it's really hard to get. You have to be really close over to the right, grab the dark thing, and then quickly circle back and up to the top to get the cage. I really thought that was going to take me an age, but it didn't. But yeah, so the sections where you fight bosses obviously never have cages in, but the sections where you're fleeing from bosses at any point during the section, you may or may not have noticed whether they have cages in or not, but they don't. So you basically have to be here to trigger it and then go up to the top. It's quite a fast maneuver. But yes, so there's never any things in any cages in any of those parts, and so I believe that was our final one for Anguish Lagoon. So let's head on to the Swamps of Forgetfulness, as long as we can bloody finish this level. So you'll notice I've actually started straight off here in the second section, and because that one is one of the easiest ones to get, but apparently missed it, you just have to jump up into that hand and you get it. Anyway, here we basically have to get across now to this next section. Obviously, that's what we're doing. So this section here, we want to leave that plum intact, and we want to kill everything that's on the ground here, which is quite a lot of annoying shit. There's that peach down there. Oh, balls. Well, I didn't mean to fire off that plum yet. Let's... Oh. Well, that's ball stuff anyway. Well, might as well get this peach in the meantime. Suppose we can probably kill these dudes here. That's one way of doing it. Now, can we get that plum to respawn without respawning the enemies? The answer is... Nope. Let's try again. And the plum are back, and so are the bastards. Is that going to be all of them, I take it? Oh, no, it's only one and a dark toon or something. Right, now we need to knock this plum over to the right into this bit of water. Last time we flew over the top here, but this way we go here and get a little dark ting, which makes the cage appear over here. Wonderful. Let's move on to scene 3. So here we go into this plum. This is the one, remember, where we bounce down the hill. There's 3 in this scene, which are all kind of quite well hidden. So now we climb up to the top of this, and when we're up towards the top, you'll notice there's a trail of tings going to the left. Follow it down, and the cage is miraculously at the bottom. Wonderful. Now this time, we want to get back up to where we just were, and follow the rule once again. Where there's a ting, there's a way. So we jump to the right and helicopter, crucially, and if you hold right, you will just land here. Now we just need to proceed over here. Bloody hell, that's a hard jump to make. God, they really don't give you much to work with there. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, you bastard, that's evil. Right, and, oh god, and now it's droppy platforms. That's not coming back, is it? Nope. Oh, it is, wonderful, right. God, you have to be right on the edge of your vision to see the next one, and bam, there's the cage. And you'll notice there's another swinging plum ahead, which means, yes, we basically just need to continue on to that one, and that's even harder jump than this one, bloody hell. Right. 1, 2, 3, go. Oop! Oh, god, those are evil, those jumps. And we got some tings here to follow, which is a bit nicer. Ah! Where am I going? Where am I going? That sounded good. Excellent. Right, now I'm down on the magician, and I now just need to go over here, is it? There we go. Right, we've got these, various falling platforms that appear. Oh, god, this is a scary one. I hate it. There we go. Bam. Done. Brilliant. Right. On to Mosquito's Nest now, the final level of the Dream Forest. So here, right at the beginning of the first scene, we've got this plum here with, once again, a vine above it. From here, we can just hover over on top of this tree. And you heard that sound. That is indeed a cage spawning. Wonderful. Right, let's head over to the first time we see a kind of photographer. So, here we get the photo taken, and then what we need to do is ride this plum. Is it to the left or is it the right? Let me think. I believe it's to the right. Wonderful. Oh, that was it. So, we have to punch this plum, get it moving, and then on partway down, there we go. That's the vine we need to get to. And now we've got a hell of a lot of stuff in our way, because we need to basically proceed all the way back to the beginning of the level now, but from the top, and it is absolutely crawling with bastards. God, I want to just hit the broomie. And 3, 2, get out of my way! There we go. Wonderful. Whee, jibbuga. Gives you all sorts of stuff here. But we just need to keep going past. There's a magician there, and I don't really want to interfere with him at all. Ringy bird! Oh, right, I'll just reset all of that, it's fine. Ugh. Right, take 2, let's be a bit more careful. So obviously the fact that it's got ringy birds means you have to have grab to do this, which you only get from doing this level and beating the boss here. Therefore, obviously predicating... That's not what that word means. I don't actually even know what that word means, really. It just felt like it was going to fit there, and it didn't. Anyway, at the end of that whole slog, you get the second cage. Brilliant. Now, let's head all the way over to the right to that hideous lip monster that I said we were never going to talk about again, unfortunately. So, here we are at the hideous lip monster. Again, not talking about it, let's just move past, and you can ride this thing up, and you can add it really way past what we did last time, onto this vine, and you will have heard a special ting there, which then means if we jump down here, bam, there's a cage in amongst a load of dark toons. Brilliant, on to scene 2, please. So here we immediately go left and onto this tree, and listen out. Oh no, it's not yet. Up here. Now listen out. There we go. There was a palang, which now means cage. Bang here. Brilliant. Let's head over to the second checkpoint photographer, actually. So from here, we have this vine. And upon grabbing this special peach, we also grabbed a dark ting. A lot of these things are dark tings. Now we have the option to proceed over here where we couldn't before. You will have heard another one there. Now we need to hop down, is it? Oh no, here we go, onto this plum. This is a slightly tough part. You gotta actually hit this plum while standing on it. And now using that, we can proceed all the way back to the left, because it's hard to go across those springy bits. And under here, now where we couldn't before, so we needed this plum specifically, and then dead ahead, bam. That's our cage. Brilliant. One more to go, and it's right at the end of the next scene. Wow, next but one scene. Technically, scene 3 is not present on this one because it has Mosquito chasing you with a big starfruit in his hands. And Mosquito's not a boss anymore, therefore we skip straight to scene 4. Now, this bit right at the end here with this plum and the slope can be a real bastard. Firstly, you need to dislodge the plum, and then you need to, and this is the tough part, you need to convince the plum to go up the hill. And this is best done by a series, what the fuck? This is best done by a series of small punches and follow it up. Oh, balls, balls, no! There we go, right. There we go. And kind of jumping and punching encourages it up, brilliant. And once it's in the water, grab it over to the left, grab that trophy. And when you come back, hey, the cage is there. Brilliant. You'll notice a lot of this stuff really works with dark tings. They're fucking everywhere. And look at that. We completed our first world. It's only been 20 minutes for me. It's probably been significantly good one. Considerably shorter for you. But that's probably the easiest world. Bandland is both the biggest world and we have a lot to gather in here. So let's get on with Bongo Hills. So here we are on scene 2, the bit with the rocket maracas. And we get to the first photographer here. So now this one is a bit strange to find. So we proceed up here. You'll see there's the arrow of tings pointing up and to the left. And that's semi-important. We stand on this dude and bring him... Oh, balls. Wait, did I have to do that from earlier, further down? Oh, do I have to bring a bloody maraca all the way up here? Fuck me, that's evil. Ugh, I guess I gotta get past that. Right, let's try that again. So I guess what I meant to say is go past the photographer and don't engage him in any way. Or do it... Shit, I need to go to that side and then back to the left. There we go. And up here. This is weird. This bit looks like you should have to crouch, but weirdly, you don't. And now you can basically just proceed this way. And bam, there's our cage. Let's head over to scene 3. So here, right at the beginning, we need to look up and left, and we'll see this nice series of tings guiding us up here. And look at that! Rayman! In case you didn't read it, you'll have to take my word for it, that's what it says. All the way to the right, and you will get your cage. Fantastic. Now, this section here, what we need to do is, if we look up and to the right... Oh, span the microphone there. If we look... Actually, is it slightly further along than here? Perhaps it is. It's over here, isn't it? I keep forgetting where things are in this level. There we go. There's a ringy bird that wasn't there before. So, from this ringy bird, we need to just leap of faith off to this side and hover, and bam, we get onto this bit here. Drop down for a cage. Brilliant. On to the next scene, the rotatee. Right, here we need to do something quite strange. We need to get up there, but we can't quite reach. So we need to quickly hop onto the rotatee and hop back. As soon as you touch it, it starts moving, so... We've been elfed, which means all we can do is fall down here for now. And then very slowly ride the fuck back up again. And once we're up here, we can go back over the top through these nasty things. There we go. And down and get the cage, which being elf, fortunately, is not a problem for. Right, now we proceed on to scene 5. Yes, Bongo Hills is that big of a level. I always kind of forget. So, hey, look at that. I can squeeze through here, and now this will bring me back to the elf at the top. On to scene 5. So, if we look at this bit here, you will see above us, quite soon, there is the cage we're after. Ah, balls. Oh, that was embarrassing. So what we need to do now here is there's these disappearing clouds to the right. We need to keep following them over until... You hear there, we got a dark ting, which means we can come back and grab both the 1-up and the final cage of Bongo Hills. Brilliant. Now on to Allegro Presto, which is great fun now we have the ability to sprint. So, as you can see, yes, this is great fun with the ability to sprint. It is the full roller coaster it's supposed to be. And what we need to do is when we get to this part, instead of going down as we did last time, we go up, and pretty soon we are rewarded for our efforts with a cage. Brilliant. Now we need to go back to where we just were. The next cage is just around here. If we go down here, and watch out for an arrow of tings. Where is it? I don't think it's too far away now. Oh no. There we go. There's an arrow of tings pointing up here, which you may have seen or may have not. But hey, Second cage there. Fantastic. Right. And next we need to... Oh, I actually got them in the wrong order. That was the second one I meant to get. So, we actually want to go down and fall down here because, hey, the gap's fine. Which means there's another cage down here. There's like 3 cages just in plain view on this first scene. Well, not plain view, but not bloody hard to get. Which I just... Ow! Bugger! Apparently walked past. Well, on that note of my embarrassing death, I will see you next on the next scene. I meant to say see you next scene, but said see you next on the next scene, which sounded way worse. Now here, on this kind of clarinet, we need to just climb up here and follow these really slippery, tiny platforms up this way. And now we hopefully should just be able to proceed around. This game does basically at this point throw trumpet men at you just to keep you on your toes. And it's maybe not too easy to follow what's going on here, but basically we're being blown around a lot. You can actually sprint instead of being blasted by these guys. It does work equally well. I was facing the wrong direction there. Well, you can see where the cage was. Let's try that again. And there we go. Whoom. Oh, didn't even hit him one. I guess I didn't have a super fist. Right, with that done, let's proceed on to the next scene. So, here at this photographer, what we need to do is, if we proceed right a little bit, there you go. There was our dark ting, and now you've got a rotatee that's appeared. So if we ride this thing round, there's a second one above, and will you guess it, what's at the top? Oh, I really thought the cage was there. Just a third rotatee. Huh, I don't remember this bit as well as I thought I did. Oh, there we go. Oh, do I have to be elf here? Yes. Brilliant. I know like to try and shoot me, and then... Bam! There we go. Brilliant! As Allegro pressed it down, this level is so much more fun once you've kind of got the ability to sprint. You can just really blast through the whole thing. It's the nice thing about sprint is it does mean you can somewhat speed run through the earlier levels. Oh, hoovering up Electoons. Right, on next to Gong Heights. So somehow we managed to already get 3 on Gong Heights, which I'm pretty impressed by. But the other 3 we need to get are all in the first scene, because I think there's only 2 scenes of this anyway, and the final scene just has 1 Electoon, which they just pretty much give to you, balls. So you can see what I was trying to do there, which was ride these bongos up, and then when they're at the height, you can make it over to the left here and on top of this clarinet. Now, you will have heard the palang sound go there, which means we now need to proceed over to the right. No, that doesn't feel right at all. Maybe it's the other side? Is it down here? What? Okay, I'm very confused. Right, let's try that again. So up here, grab that, and then... That was it, yeah, we had to jump up there and grab this thing, so it's only just in sight. And then from up here... Oh, I remember this bit now. It says the word cool in Tings, if I remember correctly. Cool. Ah, the 90s, such a wonderful time. Even though I know this game was like 2000 something, but the original one was in the 90s. And bam, that's our next cage. Now, weirdly, this has brought us like most of the way through the level, and we need to do some backtracking now. If we follow this trail of disappearing clouds down, they will actually bring us back to where we need to be. It's slightly horrifying, but it does work. Oh god, it's just been really nasty here. Right, now we need to kind of backtrack to this section here, or at least 4 like bouncy clouds. Underneath the 4th one, you can see there's a little way down. Another one, which brings us to a photographer. At this point, we need to go here, and then if we look down, you'll see there's a ting and a special ting down there. If you jump down there, you'll spawn the cage, but because you're on... Ooh, that was weird graphically. But because you're on a disappearing platform, you'll have to quickly reverse your steps there. One more to get. We need to now head over to the monk with the balls. So here he is, the dirty bastard. So we get onto his balls, and then we get onto this clarinet from here. Then you'll have heard a dark ting there. Going blanang, this is a really hard one to spot. Kill those 2 flies, and then look up. You have to look up there to make the cage appear. Otherwise, it never will, even once you've killed the flies and activated the dark ting. It's evil. Anyway, that's us done now on... What the heck is this? Gong Heights, which means we can now proceed on to the final level of Bandland, Mr. Sax's Hullabaloo. So confusingly, well not necessarily confusingly, but all of these bits here in Mr. Sax's Hullabaloo are all in the first scene, because there's actually only 1 scene in this level now, because there's the second scene where he chases us, which is now gone. Look at that. And the second scene is, and the scene following that is the fight, so it's only this first one, but we have got another 3 to get following that one. So let's proceed on through the level. So, now at this point, you will have seen, there was very briefly a ting arrow up to the right there, which followed, oh, balls, I've cocked it. Oh, what the, okay. I have not cocked it, brilliant. But in order to undo that, to redo that, we need quite a bit of momentum up here. So, what we do is run down here, and then at the last moment, jump, and we'll just make it onto these disappearing clouds. And now the goal should just be over here, he says. There we go, balls, cocked it up. Well, there I did cock it. Where the fuck am I? Well, let's try that again. Right, there we go. And so we just need to remember to be doing a big jump at the end of this last one. There we go, brilliant. And hopping up here should simply give us the cage. 2 more to get, they're both in this section, so let's proceed on to a monk. So specifically this third monk here, you can see up to the left there is actually some tings. So when these are in the higher position, there we go, you can just make it to that ringy bird and the accompanying cage. Finally, let's just get to the end of the symbol surfing bit. So, I'll show you how to actually block the symbol guy. That's when you gotta jump. Oh, not there. There we go, and you just keep him off you. Anyway, oh, that's nasty, that is. So this section here, if we look up, bam, we find a ringy bird. And if we follow this ringy bird up to the next ringy bird, there's a trail of the bastards. And I cocked that one up. There we go. And over here, there is a Rayman trophy. I didn't mean to actually grab that because I actually need to get up to where it is. I mean, it's nice to have, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it wasn't the best use of our time. Up we go there. And now there's another ringy bird series up here, and these ones are all moving around like lunatics, and this can be a bit harder to time. Right, and... oh, come on, good lord, how many of them are there? Okay, what do I do here? Oh, I remember this. Yeah, we go up to the left now, actually. And get a weird nose face here. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's very strange. It's clearly some kind of weird bloke, and it's best not to think about it too much, because there is our last Electoon. And that's us done with Bandland. We are, well, technically speaking, we are 2/5 of the way through, so we're not quite halfway there yet. Oh, cock off. So now we proceed on to Twilight Gulch, and this is a slightly strange one, because the first two cages kind of come together. We want to go down here and fall down kind of following this wall in the first instance. Now kind of we walk up this slope, and here, so that's made the second cage we're going to get up here. We'll come back to that in a second. And now we need to keep going this way. Kill this bastard. Oh no, he's going to do me in if I'm not careful. He could get out the way, man. Ah, God, he's really doing me in right now. Go away, shoo. Right, now we need to get as far over as we can, and then you'll see. Or here. Where the fuck is it? Man, I don't remember this very well at all, clearly. There we go, it's up there. First off, cage, which is quite nice. There's a kind of hidden dark thing there that only appears if you look up. It's one of those shitey ones again. Now this way, we can then proceed back, and there's the first cage that we unlocked, but the second one in order, and they're both there. Was that clear? Perhaps, I don't know. So, this next one is in the same area, so we need to go over here and proceed across the ringy birds, as we do. Now you'll hear. And what we need to do at that point is now we go back, and then the cage is sitting right here. This is a great chance for me to talk about the notation I've come across for this, because I went through and made notes kind of roughly on where all of these were, and the notes I made using my own shorthand, which is designed so I can read relatively complex instructions quickly while I'm on recording. So, this one here says, Rockman, vertical line. So that means after the Rockman, which we've just had here, then there's a star, which means we grab that. Oh no, there's no star. That says an underscore, first gap, which means, so there's a first gap here, underscore means go down. And then we've got an arrow pointing left, which means we go over there. And then it's got a small P, which means we grab the bobbing peach. And there's also a star next to that, which means we get that. And then arrow pointing back to the right. And a hash symbol meaning cage. I'll put a photo of that one up there now just so you can see what I mean. But that's how I kind of encode my instructions for this, for myself on this. It's quite good. What we want to do now is climb out from here. And if we follow this trail of tings to the right, ooh, we find a ringy bird. Excellent. Now from there, we grab this peach and proceed onwards this way. Ah, there we go. Now, what is weird, this one, isn't it now? We actually go back down. Yes, I think. Oh, there we go. And over here, the cage is going to, cloud's going to appear under me there. There we go. And we follow this along, and this is an even more complicated one. We grab this one up, and now we go back, having got that one up and the dark thing that came with it, to find the cage there. So yeah, I'll put an image up of what my code looks like for those 3 sections there, because this is probably when it gets a little bit more complicated. I always have, when I make notes, I always make them in a shorthand that's like non-verbal, so I can read it nice and quickly. By the way, that one also only has one scene now, because there's the bit where Mr. Stone is chasing you, which was removed entirely. So yeah, I always have a shorthand so I can read it without having to think too much about it, because if I'm saying words and reading words at the same time, I'll read what I'm saying, which is sometimes not bad when I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, but here I want to be able to narrate and play while kind of a different part of my brain processes the commands, and these are quite complicated ones, so... Anyway, enough of my nonsense, let's start on the first scene of the Hard Rocks. So here on this 3rd cloud, you want to listen out for a dark ting, which we get here, and then we ride this one... Oh, balls, I cocked it up. We want to ride that one back to the left. There we go, that's how we do it. Now, these can be a bit of a bastard on the way back, and there's not much to do about them other than just not get hit by them, I suppose. Now, if we drop down here, we get back onto the cloud that brought us up. But now we've got the dark ting, this cloud goes much higher than it previously did. Avoid getting shanked by that wall like I didn't, and bam, here is your cage at the top. On to scene 2 now. So, at this bit where you've got a lot of clouds moving on, stand on the 3rd one, and you'll see a little platform over to the right there. Follow that along underneath these spikes, and listen. Grab those things, and now. You might think nothing's happened there, but proceed through the level as normal until the point where you get to the photographer. Now at this point, you got this cloud moving here, you hop down, and you will see if you now proceed down here, you get this cage that's only there if you went and got that little secret bit beforehand. Right, now we're going to head on until a bit further in the level. So this bobbing peach here, if you look back, we'll see there's a little trail down there. So if we now follow that trail down, we get a dark ting. Following all of these over here will get you not only a 1-up, but now if we successfully backtrack them, this has to all be done in one movement. Oh god, I'm freaking out. Ooh, there's the cage. Whew. Right, now with that, let's proceed on and get the final few ones, which are in scene 3. So at this point here, normally you'd proceed up and to the right here, but we're actually going to go back down here. And that makes a cage appear right at the beginning. Finally, we just need to get to actually right near the end. So we come down into this hole, and we'll notice if you come here, the cage appears over there. Which is unhelpful, except we now know we can now get round to it now that's actually appeared, and we basically just need to go that way, and then onto these clouds, and if we follow them kind of round, and then from the 3rd one, is it from here? No, it's not from there, definitely. There's definitely one of them we've got to do a big flying jump from. Is it this one? It's this one! Hey! No, it's not. Bloody hell. God, my memory is not what it used to be. Bugger. Or is it, oh, is it just up here now? Yeah, there we go. So from here, we can climb up to where it isn't. Oh, balls. Is it over here? Yes, it is over here. If we drop down and get it. Yeah, that's a hell of a complicated on that one. But there we go. Right, final level of Blue Mountains upcoming. Mr. Stone's Peaks. Now, this first one is actually really easy to miss. You just go all the way up from this house here. And then you heard it there, almost certainly. A blalang, and you come down, and your cage is right there. There we go. Now we just need to proceed through this first scene right till basically the end. So here, all these various nosy birds come up, and you just need to ignore them, and then descend down here, following this kind of wall. You'll notice there's a platform here. Here, what you need to do is go over to this left side and listen carefully. There you go, and that is your cage appearing over there. Brilliant. Now we need to proceed all the way through to the 4th scene. Now, in this final scene, we need to come up here until it looks like we can't proceed anymore, and then if we go back and hover this way, you got a ringy bird here, and now there's a trail of ringy birds which will proceed us towards where we want to go. Except I cocked it up there. The second ringy bird is moving, it appears. There we go. Now we're on to the second one. We can keep an eye out for the third one. Ah, it's not a third ringy bird, it's a bouncy cloud. Brilliant. I have a feeling I'm about to follow a trail of nonsense. Yes, I thought that might be the case. Right, okay. Let's There we go. There's a dirty ringy bird over here. A cursed ringy bird. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, fall down holding this wall, and you will hear a plalank. And you will notice that meant the cage appears up there. Brilliant. One more to go, which is we need to get as far as the photographer. So, from here over to the right is... Oh, balls. Need to get past these little walking dudes first. Ooh, there we go. Right, there's a spiky ball here. Fall down here, and you will get a dark ting, which makes the electoons appear there. If we then proceed down and drop down, oh, the next hole, there, as promised, are our electoons. Brilliant. I'm actually, well, I was going to say I'll finish up here, but we're actually not going to proceed on for now, because this is going to be the end of this episode. It's probably been verging somewhere on the half an hour. It's been an hour and 15 minutes for me, but I'm aware of how much of this is going to be cut out. So, an hour and a... Oh, bloody hell. That's a lot of nosy buzz. For an hour and 15 minutes cut down to half an hour sounds plausible. We'll find out in editing what I was able to do or not. I'm being real careless here. I need to actually make sure I bloody finish this, otherwise I'll be here all night. So, next episode, there we go. Next episode, we'll be getting on with the rest of the stuff, so the final two worlds, which have got a few more electoons to get than these ones, and then we'll be going on to the final level. I'm just going to do it all next episode. So, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you join me next time for the Electoons on Picture City and the Caves of Scops. Thank you very much, and good day.